Is it recording?
Yeah.
No, I'm blessed.
No. Oh, yeah, we just cut it out. Topic. Let's talk about other events that have occurred. I'm not going to mention no names, but I know a particular event that happened a few summers ago, and said festival was like, because of the amount of people that come into this area, usually you got to speak to the people that live in that area and let them know that as a part of a committee, you go speak to them and you let the police know, you let the residents know that I'm going to do a particular event in this area, and these are the things I'm putting in place to ensure
the stakeholders
that the event runs smoothly. Cool. So one of these festivals basically said, you know what, because of the park that we're using, we're going to hire the second park for parking. You lot that are attending this festival, please park in that. The field is vast. There's bare space. Just use common sense and park alongside each other. Do your thing. Some people were like, no, man, it's too far from the entrance. So they started double parking on the main road. And the main road is a dual carriageway, 50 miles an hour.
Mad.
So obviously police had to come and shut it down. Because they're like, yo, you can't park on this road. Whether you like it or not, you can't park here. And the problem that a lot of people have is that, that's too far, I don't want to walk. And then they just start parking. The event gets locked off. Who do you blame? You can't blame the promoter. No. You can't blame the acts. You can't blame the DJs. It's you lot as consumers.
But people
ain't hearing that.
I went to that festival and people were blaming the promoters. And my thing is, the issue was something. Basically, what happened was people started parking on either side of the road, but something happened where I think some girls were walking in the road.
Yeah, there's no pavement.
And they were drunk. No, there was pavement either side. No, there wasn't no pavement.
Yeah.
It was just grass, green grass, whatever. But I think one of the girls either got hit by a car or something happened. So in them dealing with that, that's when the paramedic tried to get through. And what happened is the police locked off the road. So with that being said, because them man said the last entry 6 p.m, people started panicking like, it's 5:30. There's a hold up. I'm not going to get in. So people just started to park their car wherever, as in like literally, I'm in traffic, put it on the side, get out of my car, walk. So you saw bare people walking. But in that being said, when the ambulance is trying to get through, it can't get through now because, remember, normally when there's ambulance trying to get through, people can do that with their cars. They park their cars in it. But people couldn't park their cars because there were cars at either side of the road. So the ambulance now couldn't get through. Police said it's a hazard.
It is a hazard.
We're locking it. So as Taylor's saying, there was a massive field with bare space, but people were not going into the field.
And also, no matter what event you're going to, yeah, if the last entry is a certain time, that's the last entry. I don't know why people try to push it like, it's not busy yet. Bro, the license states I'm not allowed to let, and I learned this the hard way. Sometimes some people's license states you're not allowed to let anybody in that hasn't been in already after a certain time. So it's not like I don't want to let you in. I advertised that last entry was 1. You're here at 2 a.m. talking about, but it's not busy inside, my boys text you. Bro, there's cameras. I cannot let you in.
And most people don't understand that. Like I said, I can let you in, you know what I mean? But if something happens and then they start to review the cameras, right? All they're going to say is, you were letting in people
after the time.
2:30. So like I'm saying, those people may not even have had anything to do with what's going on there. All it says is that's a breach of your license.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? An orphanmantic, that came out late.
And
I
it's a
lose
big
my
deal.
whole license,
Yeah.
my whole license, and that affects me conducting business
when
in
people,
the future.
Yeah, so when people are like, so obviously, some people have asked me, Tazer, you've been stung by opening up a venue and then being forced to shut down. Would you open the next one? And I'm like, yeah and no. Yeah, because I can see that it's a lucrative business, but no, because if I'm still going to focus on the current audience that I focus on, it's going to be stressful in the long run.
Yeah.
It's going to be stressful. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I just know my crowd. We're the ones, and as sad as it may sound, but we're the ones that they deem our events as high risk.
Yeah.
You lot tell me why are we high risk? I can point to so many events and tell you why we're high risk. But then they'll be like, nah, why are they painting us all with the same brush? I hear that, but I'm not going to be the one that's sitting down with the committees trying to convince them that let me go ahead with this event, only for some riffraff to come and now get it cancelled. And then everyone goes home demanding refunds of £20. I have to refund like 200 bags. Come on, man.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand when it comes to events, there's so many things at play. And again, it's down to licensing. You know, it's not just Marv or Keith or Tay saying, so you can't come in after a certain time. if the thing goes wrong, as you mentioned, the cameras, and I think again, even with the double parking thing on the dual carriageway, that's certain communities sometimes don't want to follow rules, and they don't understand how this has a ripple effect. Again, why is it a certain demographic that has issues when it comes to licensing and whatnot? So
that's public disorder, bro. You're double parking on a.
And people don't even think about your thing, Marv. They don't think Marvin wants to be able to do this for the next few years.
They don't care about
for
my
them,
thing.
they're thinking, bro.
Even the investment, bro. A big festival.
But they don't care. They just
I know.
They look
that's
at
just that's their weekend.
When I had my party at my house, I'm not sure if it was the first big one or the second one. I think it might have been the second massive one, right? Bro, on my road, you were there. You see where the cars were. Brother, and I was telling people to park at the station. Like I tried to tell people park at the station or whatever. I just had to have security to keep people off my neighbor. Bro, certain people just going on the neighbor's drive. I was like, brother, you don't even know who that is. The car is just live on the driveway.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But there were cars from one end of the road to the bottom. When I say, bro, my road has never seen so many cars ever, and people just parking literally, you know what I mean, on either side of the road. And like I said, you know, it's one of those things where people might not mind the noise, but now that there's cars all down the road, now it's affecting how people get up and down the road. You know what I mean? When you're trying to explain people, yo, you know what I mean? You've come to a party, bro. There's free liquor here. There's free vibes. You know what I mean? You have major league DJs here. All I'm asking you is just park your car. You know what I mean? It's just a 3-4 minute walk. Nah.
In some venues, and
We'll leave this shit right here on the road where we want to leave it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not even charging you to be here. You know what I mean? You're here to vibes for free.
And don't get me wrong, our demo, our crowd, our community, we definitely make these people money. But at the same time, sometimes it's not worth the risk for some of them. It's not worth the risk. Like, I know my bar spend's probably going to hit 40, 50K, which is amazing. But
not if it's the last 40K I ever make.
The police are telling me that dispersal, everybody has to be gone by 4 a.m. Yeah, like these are the things
Like
that they say cleared. Outside needs to be cleared by 4. So technically, how quick can you disperse your crowd? You're like, yeah, I can get them done in an hour. All right, cool. Then your event has to end at 3. The bar's locking off at 2:30. Then you get someone in there who arrives at 2, hasn't settled down till 2:30. He's like, yo, why is the bar closed? But who goes to a party at 2 that ends at 3?
Yeah.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to stand here and be complaining with you, but I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, you're not even helping me right now. What do you want me to do?
But people don't realise as well, like, as black people already, we face
So many adversities.
we face bare adversities, but people don't see it. Like, for example, there could be a black event that has trouble and council are looking at it like, oh my God, we need to shut this down. There could be a white event that has trouble and the council thinking, just don't let it happen again. Like, it's just how it runs, you know what I'm saying? So
It's not right.
it's not right, but that's how it is, for example. So with that being said, even when you have like big festivals, the funny thing is most of the festivals, or a lot of the festivals that people have, I speak to the people that do them and they tell me that most of the issues they face are not from the police, are not from the councils, from the residents. Because once it gets announced, you need to let the residents know this festival is coming to your town or your area. So then, and they can put in like something to say.
Because it has to be a certain amount of time.
Yeah, we don't want it or whatever. So
You counter that, and then you obviously introduce clauses. So you say, okay, I'm going to have X amount of security. I'm going to have X amount of cones. I'm going to have signage. They want everything to be like, okay, so you're telling me that, let's say, for example, you're driving down the road and then the festival's towards the right. There has to be signage on this roundabout so that everybody goes right. So everybody goes left, sorry. I don't want no one doing right. Right is where the residents are. So if you can guarantee that, obviously you can't guarantee, but ideally that's what you're trying to guarantee. So then what happens is people realize that it's left, there's traffic. So people go right and start parking. That's an issue. If a resident complains, the festival will go ahead, but this festival's not going ahead in this park again. Yeah. Because when we had the meeting with the committee, you said no one was going to trouble this road. You didn't put signage on this road or road close. You didn't do that. That's you. Now there's cars outside my house.
And what you're forgetting,
and the residents will take pictures, you know.
And what you're forgetting as well is, remember, like, people have this mindset that like the UK is diverse. No, it's not, bro. Because when there's some of these festivals, when I drive outside of London and I'm parking, I'm not seeing no one black.
Only blacks here at that festival,
brother. and the funny thing is, you can even see even Matt's barbecue. Yeah, I must have pulled up. I must have parked like in one. I parked in some back street, like, not even a back street, bro. I don't know if you remember my story. I couldn't even find my car, bruv, because during the day, yeah, well lit, like I could see, brother, during the night, pitch black. I'm like, where is my car? And you know that when everyone's gone, so I'm just walking on this park lane, like, hold on, I think it was this right. I think, but luckily for me, you know, like in Waze, when you park your car,
It will tell you
it
where
tells
it
you
is.
where your car is. So luckily, like, that's when I found it. And I had my phone
Even maps
light.
will tell you as
I had
well.
my phone light on, whatever, yeah. But where I parked, I remember when I parked, the woman was, I think, worked somewhere, and she was like, yeah, you can park here, whatever. So I parked in like some nook. But as I'm walking out, you could just see white people like outside their house, like literally just
Fuming.
crossing their hands and just looking at like all the black people
What's
in the
going on
area,
here?
thinking, what is this?
We knew there was a festival. We didn't know it was
But
going
we
to be
didn't
this
know,
black.
it was used, but you could actually see the energy of like,
This ain't happening again.
what's going on around here? You could see it. So I'm just saying that
And litter.
people need to be aware of that. But only thing, most of the litter was.
No, I know, but I'm saying litter's another thing as well. So you see, like when you park your car, you
Mm.
might quickly finish your food, you just drop the weight. Like that adds up in someone's. Imagine your area right now. You come back home, everything's fine. Then all of a sudden there's a festival. You come home and it's just who's supposed to clean this up? So I'm saying all of these things are taken into consideration. And it costs. That's another thing. So you might have an idea to host an event. The venue's telling
You're going to have 100 security. They tell you need 200.
that you need 200 for this to go
Budget.
ahead. Your budget's gone. You're looking at the DJ like, big man, I know you wanted to book EZ, yeah? We might have to go get these, man. That's what happens. And then you're wondering, like, you lot cancelled EZ. Listen.
Can't afford that. It's not in the budget.
Am I doing this for
used to-
vibes or profit?
You know, you're talking about dispersal. We used to
Yeah.
have issues with the council. Remember when they used to come out and they'd just hang around just to see how long it would take, and they'd have the what's the
noise
sound thing?
thing.
The noise thing. You know what I'm talking about, Taze.
The
Decibel reader.
Yeah.
But you know the maddest thing is, people don't realize is that a lot of these people brothers are safe. So like anytime at Lux, for example, like I'll just be about in it. Then I'll see them normally pull up. And the thing is, what's good with these people is they tend to have relationships with all the security guards. So they'll just pull up to an event, get out of the van and just speak to the security guard, like, what's going on, how you been, how's things. That's why it's very important to get on with security and get on with everyone so there's times I'll come out and be like, what's going on, lad, you right? Everything fine? They're like, yeah, we're just doing our rounds. Because remember, sometimes it might be that favour where they're like, them man at that event are cool, you know? Let's give them a blight, as opposed to me coming out, what you want? Is it because I'm black? They're like, then something happens at the council.
Oh, they're waiting.
I don't like that event. You just need to play the game, innit? So a lot of the time they will pull up, you have a conversation with them, they're fine. But the problem is a lot of the neighbours, they know how to lie. So some of them will be like, we smoke weed outside. So now that's something different now that council have to investigate.
Yeah.
Oh, we've heard there's weed. Brother, no one was smoking no
But
weed
then who
here.
did they go to? They asked the security. So if the security's on your side, they're like, you know, smoking weed.
Brother,
They're lying.
And also, remember, the noise people, if they come and say, listen, there was weed. Oh, man, we spoke to the security, they'll find. There was no one outside.
I'll never forget, Marv. Do you
That's
remember,
it,
even at our event, I'll never forget when someone made a complaint or whatever, and then they took pics of the cars, and they were like, that always played music.
Oh.
Man pointed out my car, and I was happy he said my car, because they're like, my sound system, they ain't booming
Brother,
like that.
no. This brother, basically, one of the neighbours, hated us so much that one time he took a picture of all three of our cars. So there's one
Send
point
it
where
to
like,
the
it was like
council.
my car, Hack's car, Keith's car, like all white in it. He took a picture. These are the cars. The noise. I'm like, brother, that doesn't make no sense because we're at the venue before it starts. We're not playing.
Where are we going to be playing
No,
music?
but the thing is, we know we're not supposed to play music, so we're not going to blare music.
It's definitely not from our
It's
car.
definitely not from our car. Like, and also the road that the car's on
one
is,
way.
is a one way, and it's not even by the venue. What are you talking about? But it's just like the problem is some of the residents or people will
They want you gone so much.
They will create a lie